Hey guys, what is going on? It is Peppy back with another video here with FM20. So before we go into any details or anything like that, this is not something I've come up with. This is something that I saw on Fox in the Box's stream the other day. It's super good. I never thought of doing it like this before, and I probably will start doing it a lot more now because it's I did my list, and I'm going to show you guys what I did, but I did my list at the end of my season, and then I'm just about to start my new season, and I've had a really good preseason. I brought in some really good players that I wouldn't have normally brought in probably, and I've gotten rid of players that I wouldn't have gotten rid of just by looking at them, but with this new method I think it's a lot better actually telling you what's actually going on with your team. So I'm going to give you a quick example, and then I'm going to show you the actual spreadsheet and stuff that Foxy uses. So basically what he does, I'm going to take Capani here as my example. Okay, let me get my camera over here. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take Capani, and in my tactic, I'll show you my tactic and stuff in a bit, but in my tactic, Capani, while he's not my main striker or whatever, he plays as a pressing forward. Okay, so the way it works is you calculate and you add up basically how many attributes makes a pressing forward. So for this it's 17, I know it is, and then what you do is you add all them numbers together, you get a total. So it could be 100 and something, it could be 200 and something, depending on how many attributes are in each different role, and then you divide it by 17. So you divide it by the number of attributes, and then that's how you get your average rating of your player for that specific role. It doesn't take into account any player traits or anything like that. So you still have to use your own little judgment to say, oh look, he is this, or is it, you have to go by their age as well. Is this guy younger? Can he become better if you play him? You have to take them into account, and you've just figured out yourself. But this spreadsheet method is just really good for finding who is actually just better naturally in the role. Okay, so I'm going to hop into the spreadsheet part now, and I'm going to show you what way it's lined up, and we can just go from there. All right guys, so I've had to move my camera a bit to make the spreadsheet look a bit. So this isn't exactly how Foxy does his, but I've just kind of come up with my own system a little bit. So the way it works is, this is my tactic here. I can show you in FM again actually at the end for those of you that are interested. I'm basically using the 4-4-2 from 99 that Man United used to win everything. So I have what their roles are here. The midfield can be just two centre mids if need be, but I prefer box to box and an advanced playmaker as the Scholes role. But anyway, so how it works is Battaglini is I haven't coloured them, as you see. I haven't finished colouring them because on the left you can see over here green is best at the moment, red is no cover, so if I don't have a second left midfielder on my left here, and then blue is people that I should just get rid of. They're not good enough to stay in the team, or there's something going on that I just have to get rid of them. So as you guys can see here, Battaglini is way better than Walsh. He's at 250 total. From 19 attributes, 251 is his total loadout, and then he averaged, when you divide that into that, you get 13.2. So, and then his resolute personality, age, his cons, you put in cons as well, consistency and doesn't like big matches are the two main ones that Foxy was putting in. Obviously guys, you can put in extra stuff yourself, you don't have to copy this exactly, but they're just the ones that I'm kind of going by as well. They seem like the most important. So as you can see, my backup keeper is nowhere near the level of my first team keeper, and even my first team keeper is not that great. For 13.2, it's not that good. If you scroll down to my midfield, my best player is Elena from the Barcelona B team, who, if you guys are doing a lower league save, you might be able to get him on loan first season and stuff. You should check him out. But anyway, 14.5 average rating, best player on the team by far. Everyone else is 13 point something. Now this has changed in my new team. I just haven't updated my lists. I should have been doing that as I was going along, but I didn't. But as you can see, it's so good for telling you what player is better in what area. And these are so Monchu is, this is a good thing you can do as well. Monchu is a better advanced advanced playmaker, yeah, advanced playmaker support. So the scrolls roll, but Elena is way better than him. He's a full rating ahead of him. So I tried him as a box to box, and it turns out he's my best box to box as well. So I can run the two of these together. Sissoko is obviously only 1 point behind. So I'll be rotating them, but it's really good to know that Manchu is just as good, if not a little bit better than Sissoko as a box to box. The same thing can be down here in the strikers. So I play Porcher on attack and Mbele, and pressing forward on support. Mbele and Capani are my two pressing forwards, and Escobar and Calidio are my two poachers. Just looking at this right here, you can see why. The only thing that is that I wouldn't have noticed is Escobar is just as good as Mbele as a pressing forward. I would have never thought that. I thought Escobar was only good at being a poacher. He because his work rate is a bit low and stuff like that. I just assumed he was just no good, but apparently he's just as good as Mbele as a pressing forward. And the same goes for my defense. I thought Gabbia, who I got from AC Milan. I bought Rodriguez. I just signed him in the January window, I think it was, and I hadn't played him a whole lot because he was young. I was only bringing him in. He's good. He's very good, as you can obviously see. He's my best defender. But I thought Worrell was miles ahead of him, and I thought Gabbia was on par with him. But no, Rodriguez is my best defender. Worrell is my second best defender, and Gabbia is just might as well sell him. Which I am trying to do right now in my main save, because I've also brought in two more defenders to strengthen up, because I had to get rid of Bello, who is a young player at Forest. So guys, I would highly recommend, for those of you that like doing this sort of stuff and like really diving into your team and figuring stuff out, to do this. So yeah, I'm going to hop back into FM now, and I'm going to show you a couple of more things to go along with this. Alright guys, so one thing that we have to take note of ourselves, if you're using the system, because you still have to use your own common sense. You can't just rely on the system to bring you into best players, because if you do, you're going to have players that, yeah, they might have 17s and 18s in specific spots, but they might not be the most important spots for that role, if that makes sense. So like for me, finishing and composure are probably one of the main stats for striker. And like depending on what you're playing, like off the ball, work rate, I still think work rate is very important for a pressing forward, because he has to be running all game. He's closing people down all game. But Capani here only has 9, so there's still a little leeway. Like you still have to use your own kind of judgment. I'm still trying to bring in more players. You always try and upgrade your squad, right? So there's little things like that, like composure. Like for centre backs, I'm just gonna show you here. For centre backs, this is someone I just brought in. Danzo, look at him, he's so good. But the funny thing as well is, if I go by the scout reports, Worrell is my best defender, Danzo is my second best defender, and Rodriguez is my third best defender. Whereas if we go by the spreadsheet, I haven't done Danzo. What I did when I signed him, I think he was like a 0.2 or 3 above Rodriguez. So that means them two are actually my best defenders, and Worrell is all the way in third place. So there's stuff like that. But what I was going to say is, as a central defender on defenders, which is what I use, acceleration is not listed. What was the other one I was looking at? What was the other one I was thinking of saying? Okay, I can't remember what the other one was, but you should understand, like, you should get my point, is that acceleration isn't there. So what you could do, but if you do this, you're going to have to do it for every defender. You can't just do it for this guy and not do it for the rest. Is you could add the acceleration to your, because if you're playing a high line, you need people to be able to get back fast, okay? And I know pace is there, but you need acceleration to get off the mark as well, okay? So if you wanted, you could add in acceleration. So instead of having like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you'd put 14, you'd add the acceleration number into your final total and then divide it by 14. That is something you can do. You also do have to look at the player traits, okay? Like, use your own common sense, and then if you have to remove them add them, whatever, to make your tactic work, obviously do it. But, you know, just keep them things in mind as well. Spreadsheet, but this new spreadsheet thing is, I think, is the way to go for those of us that like to dig that a little deeper and go further with the team. All right, and so for those people that are interested in what tactic I'm playing for the Man United 99 system, I've even called it 442 Fergie lol. So I'm basically using the sweeper keeper. Schmeichel, I honestly don't believe he was much of a sweeper keeper. He was always in his box. He was never much further out. But because I'm playing a bit of a higher line, because I'm trying to mimic it as best I can, but you can't do it exactly, or else you're just going to concede just because of how FM is. So to make things work, you do have to adjust it a little bit. So my line is a lot higher than normal. I would, if this was the normal Man United team, I think it would more be like here or even here, you know. But that's where it is. Another thing, how do I do this? There we go. So Gary Neville role, full back attack, centre defenders on defend, full back. Dennis Irwin, he didn't go as forward as much because Giggs was the more attacking player on that side. So Giggs is on attack, Irwin comes to about here and crosses from here. Neville overlaps Beckham. I'm calling them by their original names, obviously. Beckham, who would go to about here, maybe here and cross, whereas Neville would go all the way to the byline and cross. And then the Dwight York and Andy Cole partnership. You could put a deep line forward here and Porcher, but I just went for pressing forward, help close stuff down because I'm closing people down more. And then the Scholes and the Keane role is a box to box and an AP. So if you guys want a more in-depth like look at the tactic or anything like that, leave a comment below. I'm more than happy to do a video on that. But I think that's it, guys. If you did like the video, please do throw a like on it, throw a comment down below, and do hit that subscribe. Also, I do stream on Twitch. The link is down below. And also, like I said at the start of the video, this is foxinthebox FM on Twitch and on YouTube. This was his thing he did on Twitch. I'm just kind of bringing it to attention because I think more people will use this if they know about it and if they have an idea how to do it. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.